Hello and welcome back to Pillocks of Eternity with me, Lewis.
I'm not going to make the same
PyrionFlewis.
joke I just did, because I had to... I made a joke about this is taking an eternity, but I realised in hindsight that it really hasn't.
It's
just been a million parts.
we what a start. Welcome. Well, this is series 2 of Pillocks, right?
Yeah.
We gave up because I don't think we actually gave up because we didn't enjoy the game, but we gave up because you went away.
I had to go somewhere.
and we
I
forgot.
think I went to TI or something,
just
and then
forgot.
we kind of got distracted. Yeah.
So there's
One
a
of
new
those things.
expansion out. It's called The White March. It's actually part 2 is also out. And I thought it would be nice to get back to the game. I wanted to play the game. So I've actually recorded myself playing the game for an hour or so. And then we thought we'd just talk over it. Because rather than sort of slowly bumbling together awkwardly, when we get good internet, though, there is a way we can both sort of play together and play. And
that was a problem we had. Was we couldn't muster a screen share that was actually workable and stable.
No, but I've found
Mrs.
a really
Flax.
good workaround for it. Look at Mrs. Flax.
Yeah, it's good to see her.
Beautiful.
I'm going to tell you something. I have a Mrs. Flax in every game where there's a female character, and she generally turns out to be a complete baller. My XCOM Mrs. Flax was she was something else. Let me tell you, something else.
What was she? What?
She was a ranger.
Okay, so
She had Blade Storm and all that kind of jazz, and she was just great.
because the Rangers don't normally, they're normally the first to die. I find because they're always in there.
Mine were. I had Spalty and Mrs. F.
Okay.
I was the sniper. And it
Okay.
came down. I don't know if we want to talk about the final mission because it's so good, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't played. It's been out for long enough now, surely.
The final mission of XCOM is quite an epic battle where you go through.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a very long battle, isn't it? Where you go through lots and lots. It's sort of like it feels like 2 or 3 normal missions in one, doesn't it?
Oh, it's incredible.
It's good.
So for anyone that doesn't want to know about the final battle on XCOM while we talk about it, just give us maybe 2 minutes of chat about it, okay? So the deal is that, you know, you've got those waves of enemies. You've just got to kill the codexes. Once you kill the codexes, I knew the mission was going to end. I'm losing guys left and right because it's just wave after wave. I've used all my grenades. I've used everything because you've got to get to that point, haven't you? So you've already had to blast your way to that point in the game.
Yeah.
So I got there, and the codexes are there. They're all there, and the enemies are spawning, and we're all on Overwatch, and none of them are coming towards us. They're waiting for us, and we're waiting for them. And then finally the fight kicks off, and they're all over the place, and I managed to get down to one codex, and I need one good solid attack on him. And what happened was Mrs. Flax had, she's got the rocket, right? And the codex, you know the way they teleport around every time they get hit?
She had
couldn't get to him. She had the rocket
suit.
launcher, arm rocket
Right,
launcher.
okay.
Yeah, that suit with the rocket launcher. And so I was like, all right, all I need is one good rocket shot. And Shane, who was my specialist, he'd ran over there, he'd shot the codex a bit, but missed. And I was like, oh, damn it, if I hit him with this rocket, it's going to kill Shane, but it's going to be worth it. We did it, and it was like this dramatic moment. I had like 2 survivors, Mrs. Flax and the commander who becomes the avatar. Those are the only 2 survivors of my final mission. It was so brutal. It was just so dramatic.
It's a
and
magnificent
brilliant.
game, honestly.
Yeah.
And that final battle is the perfect.
It's brilliant.
It's very well.
Yeah.
The whole thing is incredibly well balanced. I think that's the thing I want to take away from XCOM 2. It feels
it really was
really well
fantastic.
balanced throughout. So yeah, Pillocks.
What are we doing here, by the way? We're just sort of walking
sorry, I'm
about.
just trying to remind myself of where I was. Okay.
Right.
So let's have a very quick recap on where we were on Pillocks of Eternity. We had our. Oh, sorry, I'm being invited to the
signing
game.
out of friends.
It's fine. So we had Edda, remember the farmer guy? He's got that fairly nice bit of armor on. Mrs. Flax is a character that we created, so she wasn't actually. She doesn't actually have a backstory, I guess. She's just your wife in a parallel universe who's been thrown into this adventure.
But oddly enough,
unwitting.
she can't actually be my wife because we are the symbiotic dual creature, PyrionFlewis.
That's right.
So she's technically married to both of us, but that's fine. It's a fantasy world. Things happen. In the
touched.
fantasy world, Lewis, all your fantasies come true. 22 hours! Jesus.
I know.
This is real time as well.
We're gonna have to wait. I hope you guys are ready to settle in. We'll have a little.
We
cup
made
of
that
tea.
joke last time,
I
you know. I
yeah.
realized.
Oh, look, we're back. Thank God. No, so then we also had Durance, who's an angry kind of monk fella.
Yeah. He looks like a drunk guy at a folk festival, is what he looks like.
I'm quite attached to him though. I like him a lot. Aloth, who is a sort of an elfy wizard, but occasionally he breaks into a weird Scottish accent and gets sort of taken over by something which we don't really understand.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that.
And then Sagani is the ranger, little dwarfy ranger that we picked up on the road.
With the wolf, yeah, she's quite handy.
On a mission, she's quite fun. First,
let me just say something. Copper Lane sounds like an old football ground that has since been replaced by something called the Coca-Cola Arena, and people hark back to the days of Copper Lane. And second of all, the White March, it kind of sounds like a Stormfront website. Like it has, I don't know why, but to me it makes me think of some kind of anti-immigrant march, shall we say?
Right, some sort of UKIP rally. Yeah. Well,
and rather than just call it the March for Britain, they're literally just straight up calling it the White March, the White People March.
I mean, it does get the message across. It's a little bit inappropriate. Do you think we should call this series, because it's called Pillocks of Eternity, right? Do you think we should call the White March something else then? Like,
well, no, I mean, that's the name of the game. We haven't come up with that, have we?
No, but we've renamed it from Pillars to Pillocks, haven't we? Okay. So, like, what begins with W or M that's, like, silly? Like Wally? Two Wally men.
I love the way Pillocks and Wallies, like these are two words that these are dad insults.
Yeah.
You Pillock, you Wally, The
Wally March. That might work, actually. We could go with that. So I can't actually start the White March, the Wally March, until I get to a certain point in the game. And apparently it was literally just one quest away from where we were.
Oh, wow, that's handy.
So all I had to do was go into the catacombs and do this. Just basically go through the catacombs in Copper Lane, which I think we were about to do last time. Anyway, what we were going to do this previously, but we went back and finished off Raedric's Hold, do you remember, and killed the king and saved the Gilded Vale, that horrible muddy starter zone. So this is the big sort of town. This is part of the big town, and we haven't really explored it. It's really the vanilla game. The White March is sort of set up in the north, in the mountains, and I kind of just want to go up there and do it. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna blaze through these catacombs, and then boom.
What a staple of fantasy games catacombs are.
I know. So there's a bit of chat going on. If you're interested in reading all this, you can do. Just sort of trying to refamiliarize myself with with
I'm looking forward to combat because that was never our forte anyway, but I'm looking forward to seeing how
the combat,
because we had to reload a lot when we did this playthrough.
We did. I think that it hasn't really changed too much. I mean, when I'm playing it on my own, I'm slightly more concentrating.
Right.
So it's not quite as bad as much as I can remember. But also they have changed a lot of things in this game, okay? There's now, you can see in the bottom left, there's this thing called this brain, which is on, and it's basically AI. And so certain things will happen. So for example, if you're under attack.
Oh my god.
They're like AoEing us, it's fine. It's just a black ooze though.
It's a black ooze. I always liked in the old D&D, some of the monsters they came up with were a bit mad. Like there was a pudding. One of them was just called a black pudding.
Right.
Like ooze sounds a bit more scary than a giant pudding.
It does, doesn't it?
But I miss the days when it was different kinds of pudding and different ones, like certain levels. Oh my god, what's this coming down the road?
A troll.
No, it's a troll.
I know, I saw it too. I was like, Jesus. We've seen trolls before, no problem.
Dun, dun, dun. Zap him, lads.
So yeah, I'm just trying to remind myself of the skills. I'm thinking I might as well. Do I want to cast a spell? Am I all right?
And then you're thinking, nice, we got him.
So they've added a lot more UI elements. So the AI thing basically allows your guys to automatically respond and do stuff in action. You can actually assign them to do stuff. So rather than just standing there hopelessly, they will often do stuff.
That's good.
You can change their behaviour as well. So I think later on I changed some of them to aggressive.
Grimoire
and stuff like this.
Slam, the classic.
The old favourite. But yeah,
I think
it looks like
some fire damage on
at the moment. Like I'm not really too worried about casting. I realised now that I had PyrionFlewis using the sword.
Oh right,
so I was like, okay, that's why he's trying to run in. There we go. And so everything's back in. There we go. Get everyone equipped correctly. Keeping that troll stuck on the bridge there, so he can't get to us. And just slowly punching him in the face. Yeah. So I still don't really remember what most of the spells do, but
Yeah, they're
because
quite
of
complicated.
the AI, sometimes I'm just letting the AI play and seeing what they use, because hopefully
that's smart.
that won't be the worst. But who knows?
Congealed mass of thick and opaque jelly.
Yeah. So PyrionFlewis, the wizard, is obviously my main character. I don't know. Our party balance is a bit weird. Obviously, we have got the tank. We've got a melee DPS. We've also got 2 wizards, and then a little bit.
I mean, honestly, wizards are great. I think when you get later into the game, having lots of wizards is super good.
Okay, well, we've got the two pro wizards. There's just all oozes and horrible stuff in this dungeon. So
just these oozes.
I'm kind of. I accidentally shut myself in that room there. So I think one of the problems I have to deal with later is that the aggressive AI it's a little bit awkward to handle, because they just start running in, and you're not sure you want them to. But
do you like a game that has lots of combat in, or sort of, but it's kind of quick? I mean, that combat right there was kind of. I mean, if that hadn't happened, it wouldn't have really changed the game, would it?
No.
Like if that combat hadn't, like, look at this.
These aren't game-changing
Is this
combats.
adding anything to your enjoyment of the game? No. And I kind of feel like you open a door, there are 3 black oozes here that you easily defeat. Like, I would prefer less combat, but the combats are tougher and kind of maybe a bit more strategic. Like, I quite like that aspect of Divinity, was that it didn't feel like it was just meaningless combat after meaningless combat. They all felt quite difficult, and there weren't as many.
Yeah, there were. That's the nice thing about XCOM as well, and some of these other games. The balancing thing is very, very good, and I think it's better in White March as well. There's not too many. White March has improved a lot of things about the vanilla game. There's not too many, just because I was like terrified, and normally, I'd set up. You set up your group. You launch a fireball from a distance. You get all prepared to like fight, and then. It's one spider, and you're like, "Oh Jesus, what a waste of my prep."
The dramatic music kicks in. It's like if it was a movie. Like, that's the thing about XCOM. I feel like it felt like a movie while I was playing it because of the dramatic moments and the way the guys, shoulder their weapons and stuff like that. And it felt dramatic. Yeah. And I feel like the big dramatic music, you think, "Oh my God, it's a fight!" And like you said, it's one ooze. Well, didn't really need that fight to happen, I don't think.
So I'm trying to remember the controls now, and I remember the tab turns on and off see treasure, and also
you can sneak.
You have to sneak to find hidden stuff and traps as well. And Durrance actually is my trap guy, right?
Ah.
But comparatively, these are Kickstarters.
That's a text from my wife.
These are comparatively. The White March I found there was comparatively difficult traps, like that Durrance couldn't handle, and stuff. So that's something that we've got to look forward to in future. But here, he can handle everything, so it's fine. I get the impression that some people take this mission on slightly earlier, and it feels like we're well leveled for this.
Yeah.
Whereas when we go into the White March, we go into it as early as possible, so it's a good challenge. Which
we're going to get our ass kicked.
I'm looking forward to. So there's a trap. Now, one of the things, I had my entire party selected. Okay, when I clicked the trap, but instead of just trying to diffuse it with the person who was nearest, they actually picked the highest mechanics guy. So
that's good.
So they've done a lot of UI changes.
Sweet.
Look at this ring as well.
That's ridiculous.
+9 on shitloads of stuff. So Eda doesn't even have a ring. So
holy mackerel! Oh, but look, defenses. So it basically added 20% to. It would add 20% to Mrs. Flax's thingy there. Like if you look at her
fortitude stuff at the moment. Yeah.
So it was about 50 or 60 or whatever. So there you see defenses. I think that's that, isn't it?
Yeah. So each of the defenses helps you give a chance to avoid the attack on a certain,
a saving throw.
Yeah, a saving throw on a certain spell as well. So, for example, there is the bestiary where when you kill monsters in this, they go in. The more you kill, the more you know about them, the more you know about their stats.
Of them, don't you?
So you can slowly sort of.
Fire shows me something new.
There's another coffin trap.
The fire shows me something new.
Fine mail armor.
Fine mail armor.
I'm never really too sure whether any of this is any good, but I think
The
I
compare
eventually
button is your
decided
friend.
that this wasn't any good.
It ain't no hand and key. We'll put it that way.
That's true. The guys that I have, the armor that I have is pretty fancy. So
Yeah, it's not bad.
there's a few missing slots, like gloves and boots are mostly missing on everyone.
You always get those later.
But yeah, well, I don't know how much later. I've already been in the game
Yeah.
quite a long time.
It's true. We've done a fair old bit. What I can't remember what that little that blue pig thing that he's got in his pocket. I can't remember what it
Spectral
is.
pig. It's like a pet.
Spectral pig. Yeah.
And it can follow you. I do actually equip that a little bit later.
Good old spectral piggy.
So yeah, I'm just kind of exploring the old catacombs, hoping to just.
This is a surprisingly old school game.
It is, isn't it?
It really is.
But I really
Because it's just like the Baldur's Gate.
I
isn't it?
really just needed to get into a game like this again. Oh
Yeah.
my god! Do you know what?
There's another ooze.
I think this might be the best way to play it. I'm not sure, having me done it all in the past and then just.
No, it's great because
Yeah.
I would be bothering you with stupid things.
We would take a lot longer, I think, because this
really
this
does.
way we could just go off onto a tangent for like 10 minutes, but something completely different, and then come back and actually have made some progress rather than me just AFKing. And also, yeah, I haven't cut anything out, and I don't plan to. But if something
Okay.
really bad happens, I guess I could trim it to make it look better. Does that make sense? That's
Impossible.
Well, that's a classic thing, okay, and it's a spoiler. But many YouTubers, what they'll do is when they're recording, they will, die or something and have to reload. But what they'll do is they'll just start again from the reload point as if nothing had happened, and
Pathetic.
pretend that
Have you done that?
Oh yeah, of course
you
everyone
weak
has,
sauce.
and it makes you
Weak.
look. It makes you look like a pro rather than. Well,
You know that's not my thing, right?
It's not really my thing either, and that's the thing. I don't really play those kind of games either. But it's something that single player people do all the time. Because it's so easy to do. You're like, oh, I don't want to show that really thing where I died really embarrassingly. So I've seen this room full of skeleton warriors, and I'm thinking, oh Jesus, this looks spooky. So I'm trying to lob the old rolling boulder in there.
Oh God, the number of times they screwed us.
But they fucking knew. They fucking saw me straight away because I have like one stealth, and so the skeletal fight.
Get him, boys!
Just come pounding out of the darkness. But yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Just a few skeletons. I think I can handle them. I think there is something weird down here that I didn't figure out. I think it was probably something for a side quest. But yeah, you'll see it in a minute. And yeah. So there's a lot of side quests in this game, and sometimes it's a little bit one of these games where you have to go around to all the inns and all the houses and chat to everyone and pick up every single quest before you go into a dungeon. But the White March does that a lot better as well.
Oh God! I bet you thought that was just one, and then you were like, "Oh shit!"
And then they're coming from the side. So I'm like, okay, let's get Mrs. Flax. Oh no, let's get the wolf to pick up that one. Okay, it's a little bit like when you pull a pack in World of Warcraft. That's right.
Yeah.
And you assign all of these people before the fight starts, and then you pull the pack. But yeah, I'm doing it here paused. So yeah, maybe I'm going to think about lobbing a fireball, but that does involve running forward quite a long way, and they might move.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. So
I do think the spell thing, the way you have to wait while he channels it and everything, is kind of annoying because sometimes they've moved.
That is
in the time it takes you to do it.
Annoying, yeah. I'm still not quite sure. Some spells, right, will only hit enemies, even if you cast them on a big group of your own guys. But some will hit your guys. And also, the thing they've added now is a little mouse over icon thing that shows the chance that they'll dodge the damage.
Oh, that's good.
So there you go. If you know how much the chance is, then... But if you haven't killed these things very much, then you're not going to know what they're immune to, right? So you won't know necessarily if they'll dodge the damage or not. It's quite nice. Basically, the UI updates based on how well you know these enemies, or how well you're supposed to know them.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, supposed to. How well the characters in the game know it, even if the idiot player doesn't.
Yeah. So I
By the way, we've got to get a new robe. We look like we're in a dressing gown, for goodness sake.
Well,
I know
we've
we're a
worn
wizard.
that robe for a long time. We're very comfortable with that robe. That robe, Pyrion, has seen us through many adventures. Well, we're dead anyway. Look, we just got blown the fuck up by a load of missiles.
Yeah, we did.
It hit us like
Oof.
3 times for
Minoletta's bounding missiles. Damn you, Minoletta! Is this a reload? Are we reloading here?
No, I don't think so. We're not going to have to reload. Crackling Bolt is like the better version of the Rolling Boulder, by the way.
Does it zap between enemies?
Yeah, I was running to the flank to see if I could flank this wizard, but then he
Bumped
just
into
comes
a
up
wizard.
to me. I think he's a wizard anyway, so I'm just going to knock him down with this Pillar of Faith and hope that... Yeah, I'm just finding my feet again here, so please don't worry too much about this.
Don't judge. Don't judge.
I'm not going to either. That doesn't guarantee that the play is going to get any better. I promise you it's not.
Okay.
But
I mean, you're doing great. Don't sweat it.
it's good to be back in Pillars. I've missed it. I have. So yeah, these skeletons don't pose too much threat.
Well, you're dead.
I'm unconscious. I found out how you actually can die too. So if you see, we've gone down and we've now got a wound. It depends. It seems to be quite random what that wound is. Like I got blown up by a fire trap and I got a wrenched shoulder or something. So it's kind of sometimes funny, but that obviously gives you a debuff until you rest. You can only rest a certain amount of times because of the camping supplies.
Right.
And obviously, if you're going to complete a big dungeon with a whole lot of shit in it, or a big area, you don't want to get right to the end and then not have enough camping supplies to rest, and then have to try and take on the final guy with like none of your spells. So
these are like these games. Any game with consumables in, I'll end the game with 90% of my consumables unconsumed because I'm so terrified that I'll need it.
Yeah.
Like I do think like any game with ammo. I'll end the game with a ton of ammo because I'm sure there's something coming up.
Well, it's exactly the same. We've got so many potions of deadly aim and all sorts of stuff, and we never use them because I'm terrified that I'll need them at some point. But at the same time, you only have a limited amount of quick slots on each character.
Yeah.
Some of them I think only have a couple. I think Durance has 4 because he's got all the shit. Well, I just ran straight over a trap, which I had no idea was there, and I'm trying to disable it with Durance, but he's just getting hit by it. It's weird. Anyway, there's another trap which zaps me again.
Zap.
So yeah, I'm now thinking, right, I better start trying to. If you stand on a trap, that usually means there's other traps, right? So I'm like, okay, there's a trap. Now, it's too hard to do, and so I keep failing to do it. But because I've got the combat log zoomed up, there we go.
Oh.
Jesus. Anyway, that is going to be our first episode of Pillocks. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you
What
next
an ending.
time.